Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel Made with Love. My name is Heather. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody subscribing. I just reached 601 subscribers this morning. I am so happy. I didn't think I'd ever get that many in the short amount of time that I've been on YouTube. I guess thanks everybody who's been watching and subscribing. Again, I can't believe that we're like 39 days till Christmas. Today is November 16th, so I am busy doing Christmas stuff. I'm going to be in my garage spray painting later today. It's we got really strong winds. It's minus 15. I'm not quite sure if that's what it is with the wind chill or if that's, I'm not quite sure the exact temperature. I just know something about minus 15 degrees Celsius. So what I'm going to be doing is I've got these ornaments. I bought these last year at Valley Village. I paid $2.99. And there's a box of I think about 12 or so in here. So I've decided I'm going to paint for this color here. It is the Gloss Grape. I'm going to paint for the Sea Mist. And I'm going to also paint for the Satin Aqua to go with my whole peacock theme. I'm also going to make another floral arrangement for my kitchen table. So I've got this nice big metal flower pot here. I am going to actually spray this the Satin Aqua. I think it will look really nice with the, set this down before I drop it and it'll crash everywhere. I think it will go really nice because I've got these poinsettias here, these other blue ones I had gotten, and I also have a bouquet of the white ones, and then I also have some little birds that I found at the dollar store, so I'm going to make another little Christmas floral arrangement with those. Not quite sure how I'm going to incorporate the little birds. I may, I make little picks for them using chopsticks, or I may just clip them in on the bottom or glue them in on top of the stems of the florals. I haven't quite decided exactly how I'm going to do that, but I like these colors. But the one thing I am really working on is at the Dollar Tree, and they had all these Christmas wreaths. The spray paint, I don't want to drop them. And I found the wreath that I wanted to use this year. I bought a bunch of them, but I'm going to save the rest for next year. So I found there's a bunch here. There's the tree, the star, a stocking, and the Santa hat. So those ones I think I'm going to save till next year because I'm not quite sure how I want to incorporate them. But I found the snowmen. So I found two. So I want to do a Mr. and a Mrs. Snowman. So for her this morning, I've already wrapped her body with the white yarn. So I got these two big bunches of the really nice thicker yarn from Walmart. They're like $10 a bunch. Sorry, a ball, whatever it's called. So here's what they are. It's the Bernard's Blanket Extra. So I'm not sure because it's a ball. I'm not quite sure how much. I don't know how to read these labels. I'm not quite sure where to look to find the size of them. But it was this big one. So you can see it's probably about a good ruler length. So they're the $10. So I've wrapped this one in. So I'm just going to start wrapping this one. I'm just going to start, and when I get, because it was around the neck here, I had to be careful because for this one I actually was going around and bending on it so much that the neck actually snapped off in two pieces. So I actually had to use some zip ties to hold it and hold the two pieces together. So I put an extra piece across here to give it more, to make it more secure. So then I will just quickly do this one. So I'm just going to go and just wrap the bottom because it's this one is the easiest one to wrap. It's just the bottom. So when I get the bottom one wrapped, I'm showing you how I go up to the top and around the hat part here. I will be back and show you how I do that. And I'll also be back when I've got everything painted. So just be in a little bit. I'll see you back here. Okay, I've done my first coat on the planter here. I just did the outside, and I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to spray the inside. That's just rust because it's just a metal planter, and it got wet. So I had had florals in here, and I left it outside last summer, or maybe the summer before, so that's just rust and it won't come off. But here's the other ornaments that I was painting. Yeah, this one here, it cracked, so I tried to cover. I've got some tape holding it together for right now, but I'm going to cover it with a bow, so you won't even notice that I've got that tape on right now. And then the blue I was using is not really covering very good. This is like 2 coats and it's not covering. This one here, I've run out of that paint. So I think I'm gonna end up painting them all, because this purple is just 1 coat of the purple. So I think I'm gonna end up painting all 12 of these with the purple. And it's the gloss grape. So I'm just gonna grab the other one I've got here is the satin aqua, and I'm just going to finish painting the inside of this planter, and then I will be painting these with the purple. Just take a couple minutes, just gotta shake this up good. As I said, it's too cold outside to be spray painting, so I'm in my garage. Just got everything sitting in a cardboard box. I've got the ornaments, I've got them on chopsticks stuck into floral foam just to hold them upright. I'm just gonna spray this one. It's not really working because I'm at the wrong angle. So I'm just gonna pause the video while I finish painting these, and then when I'm back, I'll be in the craft room working on the other, the snowman wreath. All right, I'm back in my craft room. So now I've got most of the bottom ring done, just this last little bit where the 2 rings are kind of attached, and then I'll go around the head. So I'm just going to show you how I finished up here. So I'm just going to keep doing this. This is all I did, was just took a bunch of the yarn and just went around the bar. Like I said, on the first one I did, I had to, when I was coming around here, I don't know, whatever I did, it was very loose, so it actually came apart, so I actually had to use zip ties to attach the head back onto the body. And then on this one, I was doing this, and I dropped it, so his hand came off. Well, these are just these wire frames from the dollar store. They're $1.25. I find some of them are more flimsy than other ones. I thought I got 2 good strong ones, but they've all got some weak points in them. So again, I'm just gonna, actually, was I going? Okay, just gonna keep going around here. Just gonna keep getting this around here so it's all done as far as I can go around here. And then now I've got to start going around through this both of the rings, even though I'm just doing the bottom one. So I just want to go around here. This is why when I was doing the other one, why the neck part is extra thick, because, oops, I got my camera stand stuck. Okay, because I had to go around this one 2 different times just to try to get both rings to be done. So I'm just messing up here. Okay, and I keep getting this going around and around, and so this is my starting point. I just tied a little knot right here, and I've got a little bit of this stuff coming down, so it's like a little tail, so I know right where I had started. So I'm just going to keep wrapping around until I get to that point. And then I'm just going to come back around to here. Now there's that little tail, so now I'm going to stuff the tail down between the bars, so now it's going to be hidden. So now I can just go around there a couple times to hide that. Oops. And now I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm just going to keep wrapping the head part now. I'm just going to keep wrapping till I get the head part all wrapped up until I hit here. So I'm just going to keep going from here all the way to where I meet where the hat goes across his head. And I'll be back when I get to there to show you how I did there and how I finish it off. Okay, now I'm back at the hat part. I'm just trying to figure out where I can lay this so you can see. Just turn this. I'm just going to flip this mat over like that. So there, it'll be a little bit easier to see. So I've got where his hat is. Just leave it down like this. So his hat comes across his head. So what I did on, to show this one, what I did on this one was then instead of doing the 2 rings right where his hat is, I just went over the first bar. So you get a nice little bit where his hat will be, if you understand. But I guess if I just show you, I'm just going to do this a couple more times. So this is where it got a little tricky because it just seems to want to get caught on his hat, and he's got these little prong things sticking out. Just got to go a little slower around here. I'm just going to keep working around until I got it, until I've got those extra prongs of the hat hidden. Just gotta push this in, get this under here. I think I can go once more. I think that should hide that right there. Okay, so now I've got to that point. So now I'm just going to go, this other ribbon caught. Okay, now I'm just going to go around the first bar here, or the first little hoop. I'm just going to pull this around. Oops. So I got this all tangled. I've got it not in this. Probably got more yarn than I needed, but I'd rather have too much yarn to work with than not enough, because I don't want too many start and stop points. Just gonna keep pulling all this through. Just gonna keep wrapping it, just going around the first bar here. And just pull this through. Just keep pulling it through. You don't want to pull it too tight. You want to have it nice and loose so it looks all fluffy. You really want it to look like nice fluffy snow. Oops. So I'm just gonna keep wrapping this around this first bar until I get back to, or by his hat here, where I can do the 2 bars again. I can angle this maybe like this. So just going through, because it's got the hoop has the 2 lines, the 2 bars. So where his hat crosses, I'm just doing the small one that's between his hat and this inner circle. So I'm just going to keep going around just the inner circle until I get right back to where I can go back out. So we're going to get past this hat part. So I'm just going to keep doing the single one till I get to past this hat part. So once I get to this hat part, then I can finish doing the 2 all the way around. So when I get back to here, I'll be back and show you how to finish off around the neck. Okay, so I did the single row from this part of the hat to this part of the hat, and I'm back to here where I can now go back to doing working on both the rings. It makes it so much easier, just pulling all this through. It would take a long time to do on camera because I have to, oh, there goes that arm that fell off. That's okay. It's just takes a while to try to get through just that one, because it got really super narrow right in here. So I actually had my little, it's a crochet hook, knitting needle, I'm not sure what this one is, but it's one of the smallest things I had sitting here. So I just kind of used that to kind of help push the yarn kind of through that little gap there. So I'm just very tedious work to do that one small chunk. So it's faster if I just did it off camera, but I'm just going to keep pulling this through. I'm just trying to make it all kind of sponge together, but want to keep it still nice and fluffy so it looks like snow. I'm just going to keep going around and around. This is faster, except when you try to go a little too fast and you get your ends tangled like I just did. Just got a knot in there. I think I got the knot out. Just gonna have to stop for a second and pull this to make sure I've got it. Oops, there. I did. I tied a knot in there. Because it's not pulled tight, the knot just kind of slips out pretty easily. No, maybe not. There's the knot. Didn't want to get this close to the end and then suddenly just starting to get knots in my snowman. I did so good. I had no knots in the first one, and now just right near the end of this one, and now it's starting to want to bunch up on itself. This is my puppy. She's outside. If you can hear her. Sorry. It's like just after school, so there's probably a lot of kids just walking past our gate right at the moment. I'm just going to keep looping this around until I get back to this the center part here. So I'm going to kind of hide all this bar as much as possible. Coming this way. Now I've gotten to here, and that's as far as I can go. So now I've got to just put some here. So now I've got to make a double row. And on this one, I want it to be about the same thickness and the same width. I'm just going to lay this across. So I've got a good, like that size of space, like the space between my finger and my thumb, or my middle finger and my thumb is about as wide as that is. So I want to make it the same width. And it's so about like this thick. So I just want to kind of have it, you know, pretty close to the same size and thickness. So I'm just going to use up all this extra yarn here and just go across this way and then go back across to this side. Oops. Just kind of really get this all on here. Just I can go once more over on this side there. And I think I can have enough to make it across to back to the other side. Just kind of pulling this. Just going to keep pulling this tight here. So I got to get back to the other side so I can tie the knot and hide it. And then I've got my snowman. I want to make it so it's Mr. and Mrs. and I want them facing each other. So I got to turn, make sure that I've got their hats on opposite sides. So I got to figure out which way I had. The knot was at the back, knot's right there. So this one, the hat is on the left, so I got to make sure he's got his hat on the right. I've got it here, so I'm just gonna tie it off. The thing about some of this chunky yarn is you can tie it off and then just tuck it inside there. Just want to pull that out because I don't want it to be, I don't want the knot to be seen, but at the same time I need the frame to be covered. So there, we've got this one. I'm just going to angle the camera up so you can see I've got my two snowmen are now covered and ready for the next part. So on the next part I am going to be working on their hats. So I just got to get the ribbon and the burlap that I'm going to be using for their hat. So I'll be back as soon as I get those pulled out. Okay, so what I did was I quickly traced the basic size of the hat. And I traced it on some paper and I kind of cut it out. So I'm going to cut out 2 hats out of this felt. So I'm going to see if I can get both out of the same piece. I think I can. Because I blew the burlap on, I just don't want to get glue everywhere. Just want to make a little backing, I guess, for the back of the hat to be. So I guess this will work. Right like that. Just gonna grab my marker here. I'm just gonna make a little mark where I need to cut. I can cut out 2 hats. Don't need to be perfect. This is just for the back, for behind the snowman. So when I glue the burlap on, or any of the other ribbon on, I'm not gonna get glue everywhere. So just gonna double check that's the right size. Yep, that would be good, because then it'll kind of hide the wire frame too. It's a little crooked. Yeah, that's a good size. So they both should be the right size. I'm just going to double check this one. Yeah, that's a good size. I just need something so when I glue it on, because there's not a lot of frame here. So if I get something behind here, then there's more surface to glue stuff together. That makes sense. I hope so. Just gonna keep banging my arm on stuff I have on my desk right now. I'm just gonna set that aside. I'm just gonna set this aside. So now this is the size of their hats. So now I've got different kinds of burlap. I've got here. Got this burlap here, which I thought would be perfect for her because it's got the lace. And then I've got 2 other regular kinds, and this one here, this is why I really thought about the black for the back, is because this one has all the, where's my camera there? So this one's got all the little holes through it, so if I put something there, then you're not going to see completely through the burlap. I've got this one here. This one I got from Dollarama, and I paid $3 for this one. It's the burlap garland. It's 5 inches by 10 yards. This one was also from Dollarama too, so it's probably the similar size. I'm not quite sure exactly. It looks like it's the same width, but I'm not quite sure how much you get on the roll, because I have used this one already, so I don't have the little tag thing anymore. Then I have this one here. This one I picked up at Value Village for $2, and this is the 100% jute. So this is a piece of burlap. It's 18 by 24 inches. I'm just gonna open this up and see if the holes are smaller, if I like it better. Oops. I think I might like this one better. Yes, the holes are smaller, tighter weave. I think I'll use this piece of burlap for the guy, and I'm going to use the burlap with the ribbon for her. So I'll put this other one away. So I'm just going to put this cardboard back on here. Just going to put this cardboard back on here so I've got it all together so it won't be unraveling on me. I'm going to set that one aside. So now I'm just going to get a chunk of this burlap here. I'm just going to grab this little piece of felt for the template for the size. So it looks like to that fold and to there. So I'm just going to grab my marker. I'm going to put a little mark here. So it's got to cut straight down to there. And just going to quickly cut this out. And then I will cut out the piece of burlap for her. And I'll be back when I get these both pieces cut out, because this is a tricky angle, because it's all wants to twirl up on me again. So I'll be right back when I get both pieces cut out. Okay, I'm back. So I got the 2 pieces of burlap cut. Now this one here wants to roll up so much that it's rolling the felt with it. So I'm just gonna try to roll it the other way for a minute. Just gonna fold this down, just try to get it to lay a little more flat. There we go. And for this is because this is burlap. I always just get any flyaways. Just kind of caught on fire. It was not the burlap, it was the lace that kind of caught on fire. So I gotta be extra careful when doing this one. And same with this one, just where I've, right on the edges where I cut it. Yeah, this one was a bit better doing that because it doesn't have the lace. Although it still has a few stray pieces that still want to kind of catch on fire. So just be careful when doing this. You don't have to do this. It's just a step I kind of like. I kind of also, at the same time, it's weird, but I kind of like the smell of this burning. I don't know why. I don't know if it really helps prevent it from fraying. I just, on some of the burlap from the dollar store, you get all those little fluffy stringy pieces. And if you can just kind of get rid of some of the flyaway stringy pieces, it just makes your end product just, I think, just look a lot better. So first step is, I'm just gonna, this is the boy one, I think, yeah. Just gonna move this stuff over. I don't have a lot of room here. I've got all these projects that I am working on. So I'm gonna do him first. I'm just gonna lay this down. I'm gonna lay this here. Double check this covers. Yeah. I'm not too worried if it covers, how much it covers up here, because I am going to be putting, you can see right now I'm only working on the square part of the hat. I'm not actually working on the brim of the hat at the moment. I'm just trying to get the nice size for the hat here. So doesn't matter if it covers, you know, any of this fluffy part here, and I'm not too worried about the two ends that stick out. Right now I'm just trying to cover the center part, because then I'm going to be using something different for the brim, and of course I'll be using a nice decorative ribbon. The ribbon I use for him is going to be the same for his scarf, and then for her, whatever I use for her ribbon will be the same for her scarf. And then I have two options for their hands. One was I was going to get some sticks and glue sticks over top of their hands, but I was looking at some of my felt and my ribbon, and I'm thinking, because the hands just, you know, they want to come off and they are snagging on everything, I'm thinking I might just clip the hands off and just make little felt gloves. I haven't quite decided that yet, so I'll be thinking about that while I'm doing, you know, the rest of it. So I've got my glue gun, it's plugged in and heated. I'm just going to be pouring glue over top of the bar here. I'm not gluing the burlap down yet. Right now I'm just trying to get a good amount of glue on here. So I've got something for the glue to stick onto. I'm just going to do a couple lines here where there isn't a bar. There. I'm just going to do one more across here. Glue gun, just the trigger is stuck. There. The trigger is stuck and it doesn't, glue doesn't want to go any further. There. Okay. glue sticking where I didn't want the glue. Oops. Okay, so I got the felt glued in place, and now I'm just going to put some glue on the burlap itself. And glue this one side in place. And then I'm just going to put the glue directly on the burlap. And glue it into place. Let's see this one. And I'm just going to glue the top part. And this is just a little bit long on this side, so I'm just going to wait for that glue to dry, and then I'll just snip that extra little piece off. And then set that on aside, and I'm going to work on her hat. Same thing. Just going to put the felt down. Just going to kind of glue a few corners here. Just not going to glue as much on hers. I'm just going to do this one strip like this. I'm going to glue hers a little bit different. I'm going to actually glue hers down at the same time and see which is easier to do. You see, I don't think it matters which way you want to do it. I want to make hers look a little bit like a fancier bonnet, so I'm actually making hers kind of more puffy. You see, I've kind of left the two edges I've actually glued, so you get this little puffiness there. So I didn't quite want hers to be like a square hat like his. I kind of wanted hers to be a little more decorative. Oops. I'm just going to glue, but it's just not working, not the way I thought it would. It's just not going to pleat. I wanted to get some pleats in there. It's not going to work. This burlap is just a little bit thicker than I thought it was going to be. That's okay. I'm just going to glue it in place. Okay, blob of glue stuck to my finger. I'm just going to glue the top part. I've got her hat glued into place now. Kind of. It's not quite what I was trying to go for. So maybe I'm just gonna change hers just a little bit as I style it up. I'm gonna change hers. I'm not gonna let hers dry. And I'm gonna decide about the ribbons for their scarves. So I got these quite a few different ribbons here. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to go for. It kind of depended on what colors I was going to use for their hats and stuff. Now For hers, I wanted to make hers really fancy. Drop some stuff down here. I have the deco mesh. I still might put some deco mesh in hers to get some little flowers in hers. So I'm gonna save that for. I'm gonna save hers for last. I'm gonna do his hat first, but I really think it'd be fun to make some little deco mesh curls and make little flowers in her hat. Now, as for his hat and his scarf, because I want them to match. Let's see the height of the hat. Let's just quickly measure here. It's about 5. Can't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 inches. Okay. So it's like 4 inches. So I don't want to go with any ribbon that's going to be too thick. So that cuts out a lot of these ribbons already because they're almost as thick as the hat. So I think I want to do a 2-inch ribbon or something. Yeah, I think I'll do a 2-inch ribbon on his, and then the scarf will be a bit bigger. So I gotta find contrasting ribbons. So I really liked this one here for his scarf, but it's too wide for his hat. I don't know if I have anything, although that one might work. It's a little more green. Let's see, I think I had some more ribbon, so I'm just gonna grab my other ribbon because I got more ribbon I just dropped. Oh, here, this is, I found it. It all just rolled off the table here. Yeah, that one. See, it's got more of the red in it. Matches that, but I'm gonna see if I actually have the exact same ribbon in 2 different widths, which I think I do. So I will be back as soon as I find the right ribbon that I was going to use for his hat, because the burlap ribbons are now out because I'm using burlap as the base for their hat. So the burlap ribbons are out. These extra thick ribbons are out. So just let me look at my ribbon once more and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I found the right ribbon. That's what I thought I had. I knew I had coordinating ribbon, pretty close to it. So I'm going to do the rim off his hat, or the ribbon on his hat with this candy cane striped. And then for his scarf, I'm going to do this other candy cane stripe. Now the scarf will be going diagonal, and this will be going horizontal. Sorry, I'm trying to remember which way everything goes. So I'm going to have scarf and his hat. So this one, I think it's about 1.5 inches, and this one is 2.5 inches. I think this is 2. I think that's what it is. This one 2.5 inches. Yeah, this one's 2.5 inches wide, and this is about 1.5 inches wide. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to start with his hat. So all I need is just one piece to go straight across his hat. So I don't need a big strip, but I want it a little bit to hang over so I can tuck it around on either side just to give a nice clean finished edge. So I'm just going to grab my scissors. I'm just going to cut a small chunk off, and I'm just going to glue this on. I'll put a strip of glue on this ribbon here. Just put it there. Strip of glue on the burlap here. Just gonna pull it over. I'm just gonna flip him over, and I'm just gonna glue it in on the back here. Hold that for a second while it kind of sets up. A loose thread. Just gonna snip it. there's his hat so far. So I still have to do the finishing touch. I still have to do the brim of his hat, which I'm just gonna set this aside, and I've got to do his scarf. So I'm just gonna open this ribbon. So this ribbon I got from Dollarama last year at Christmas. I paid $2 for this one. I haven't used it yet. This one here, let's see. Don't know where it came from, so I'm assuming I got this one at a secondhand store, probably in a big bag of lots of ribbon. I just gotta figure out. Oh, this is velvet ribbon. Does it say? Oh, it does say. I didn't even read the thing, but it wasn't telling. It doesn't tell I'm opening it up. I'm like, oh, it feels like velvet. It is velvet. Okay. So now we want a nice scarf on the snowman. Trying to get this lined up so I know exactly where I want the scarf tails to be. I want it to go like that and like that. And I want it to come down. Okay, so about there. So the scarf will come by where his hands would be. A little tricky because this is the hand that fell off, but I've got it kind of spacing on where this was coming down this side, so that's kind of where his hand would be on this side. And I'm just going to glue that. So I'm just going to put a strip of glue right here. Actually, maybe I'll put it on him. Put a strip of glue back of him, and then just lay it down on the center of this ribbon right there. Just hold it for a minute. Then bring this one over, this one over. I want it this way. There. Okay, so this one to come over next. So I'm just going to put some glue across from here, right across to there, and just pull this across the glue. And on this one, I'm just going to pull it up over this. Oops. This one crossed over to here. So I'm just going to put the glue diagonally across from here, right across to there, and just pull it across. Now he's got his scarf. It's just a very simple basic scarf. I will cut into it to get the little fringy look. I'm just going to let this dry for a second before I do anything else. Just want to make sure it's all straight and it's right where I like it. Okay, so now I'm just going to, do I want to do the fringe? I'm not sure if I want to do the fringe or the dovetail now. So maybe I'm just going to set it aside while I think about that. So just angle this up so you can see there he's got his scarf and his hat is about half done. I'm just going to set him aside. I'm just gonna get her and do her scarf. So now for her scarf, I wanted to match her hat, and I said I wanted to use the deco mesh. This one here, and this one here is the bluey gray one, and I also have the purple. But because I've done his in red, I think I'm going to grab the red deco mesh, which I don't think I actually brought it up. Let's see what I have. I have this one. No, I do have this ribbon mesh. Let's see. This is the fun part about when you're crafting, is you just figure out what you've got and how you want things to look. I want that to be a little bow there. Let's see. I kind of like this with this red over top of the lacy burlap. See if I just wrap this around the hat. No, I don't like that. Thought it liked it when it was just halfway done. Let's see. So I want to make hers like more of a girly hat with flowers. I'm just trying to. I think I'm going to use berry picks for her flowers. So I'm just going to leave her hat for now, but I've got to do her scarf. I would like her scarf to be a little bit more feminine. So I'm just looking to see what I had. I'm going to have to run downstairs because I think I do like the idea of using the deco mesh for her scarf, because I can give her this nice puffy bow scarf. So I'm gonna run downstairs to my my craft supply room and grab the red mesh. So I will be back when I've got the red mesh. Okay, so what I have is I've got this mesh with the silver that runs through it. I have the red mesh that just has the red glittery running through it, or I have the red sparkly tulle. So I've decided I'm going to use the tulle to make a really fancy little scarf for her, and I'm going to do the top of her hat with this. So I'm just going to move this stuff. I'm not quite sure how much tulle I will need, so all I'm going to do, I'm just going to roll the tulle out. It's just getting all tangled on me. Just rolling it out in front of me, and I'm just going to start gathering it like this. So as I gather it, I get this nice like ruffle, and I'm just gonna do this all the way until I have, I guess I gotta use my, I always forget my mat actually has the grid with the measurements, but I never use it for that. I don't even think about this because I always use my measuring tape because I prefer that better than to use this, because this is all in inches. There was a little side strip that is centimeters. Now, I'm Canadian, we mostly use centimeters, so when making this video I'm trying to convert things into inches. Sometimes I just kind of get things a little bit backwards, but so that's why I prefer using the measuring tape, because I can just easily flip it over from inches to centimeters for me. If that makes sense, why I use the tape measure rather than the measurements that are on my cutting mat. So her scarf needs to be, I guess I want to make it a ruffle of about, let's see, 8 be good. So 8 would be too big. Well, maybe I'll do 8, and if it's too big, then I can see, because that would be, so I'll do that many centimeters. That's what I say, like I work in centimeters, so when I'm trying to convert things into inches, so I want it to be, so that's 18 centimeters. So that's about 7 inches. So I'll make it 8 inches just so I get a little bit more to play around with because the tool is so light. So I want to make it 8 inches. So I'm just going to line this here. So I got to get my little bundle about 8 inches. So I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm just going to do this. Gonna keep doing this until I get a nice bundle. I don't know. I've got this nice little flower looking thing here. And let's see. I can keep going. Just want to get a nice bundle so I get a nice little bunch to go all the way across her whole neck. And the thing is, with the tool, I can loosen it or tighten it. So I just want to get a nice bundle here. Like I said, this nice ruffle, and then I can kind of flare it out. That. Oops. Just want to see what it's kind of starting to look like. So I get this nice little flower-looking thing. So I just want to keep working that. So I need about double this. So I said it's hard to know what size. Oops, I just let go. So I'm just going to have to restart because I just pulled the tool upside down and I just need to let go of it. So I will be back when I get the tool all bunched up into the right size. Okay, so I've got my tool. I made it into the little flower thing here. Just kind of scrunched it all up. Just trying to find where the center is of this again. Like this. So I did let go of it and oops, just unraveled it while I'm trying to talk. Okay, so I did quickly go and unravel it, and it looks like it's about 100 inches of tool. I'm not sure how many feet that would be. So I don't know how to convert that. So I'm guessing maybe close to 6 feet of tool. I'm not quite sure, but so I've got it like this. And I've got these little wires that I buy for when I do my wreaths. I get these little wires at the dollar store. I think it's at Dollarama. It's a pack of 420 and you get 3 different colors. So I've got the red because I'm using the red tool. So I'm just going to fold it in half so I get this little U shape. I'm just going to put it like that. I'm just going to hold the tool down and I'm just going to quickly take it and twist it a couple times, and then I'm just going to fluff this out like I do when I make my little bows for all my wreaths that I make. I just get this nice curly looking flower. Some of this is just bent in on itself. Just gotta pull it out and fluff it out, and I'm just gonna bring her over and decide that I want this right like that. So she's just got she's not getting a full scarf. She's just gonna get this nice little flower, nice little flower on her right here. I'm just going to move the yarn out of the way so I can find the wreath form here. I'm just going to stick this through the wreath form and flip it over, and where did it go? So one went through, where the other one, it didn't go through the wreath form. Oh, there it is. Oops. There, that one went through that side. This one I saw it was starting to come through. Just trying to poke it through this yarn. I had it. I feel it. Oops, there. It just bent and started going the other direction. Okay, I'm just going to grab the two ends of the wire. I'm just going to twist them together really good. And this, I don't even have to really glue this in place, although I'm going to, just to give it some extra secure. Also, just the little wire, I don't want anybody to get pricked on this sharp wire. So I'm just going to put a blob of glue right over top of the wire, and just like that. Move the yarn back over top just to hide the wire. So just bring it back around and just fluff it back up again. I've got little glue flakes stuck in the tool now. Just gonna move that. There, so now she looks like that. So now I'm gonna make another little ribbon of tulle to go across the edge of her hat. Well, that one I'm gonna do a little bit differently, because this was just one big massive one. I just want a small little bit. I don't need such a big one for on her hat. So again, I'm just going to take the tulle. I'm gonna set her aside. I'm gonna take the tulle. I'm just going to start to gather it in the center, just walking your fingers up to gather it. Just a little more. I'm not quite sure how much I'm going to use, but the width of her hat here is about the same width as the roll of tulle. So I'm going to put this in the center and then have the roll of tulle go across this way. And then from there I will be adding the picks and stuff, the floral picks in her hat. I think that should be full enough for her hat. So I'm just going to cut this off. I'm just going to finish the last couple little turns there, so I get like a much smaller bow. But the same thing, I'm gonna find the center of it. Oops, sorry, I'm just gonna angle so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got this, so I'm just pulled it flat. I'm just gonna fold it in half around my finger. So I've got it tucked between my fingers, so there's a space here, so I can find right where the center would be. I'm going to take one of these little metal picks here and just bend it up. I'm just going to give it a couple good turns. And when I just fluff this up, I get that. I'm just going to stick that in her hat right here. And same thing, because I pushed it through this frame was a little bit easier. Oops, although both went through the same spot. I need to get one on one side and one on the other side so I can be able to tighten it around the bar. I'm just going to tighten this and just twist it in place and tuck it down and put a little blob of glue on top of that as well. Now this, I think I can tuck the felt over top like that. And just flip her over so I can get to her hat. Just going to fluff this up. And I'm going to fluff her hat up. There's a loose thread there. Fluffing up her hat and her scarf. So now she looks like that. So now I'm just going to go get, still not quite sure how I'm going to finish the top of her hat. I think I might just take another piece of the fabric burlap and just kind of go over top and just kind of fix that. Because what I was trying to do didn't work. Wrong size. I thought I had a bigger piece. So I might do that, or I might just undo the glue and just try to pull it up. Maybe I'll just do that. That might be easier if I just pull it up a bit. So I'm just going to fix her hat, and yeah, that works better. If I just pull her hat up more. Just going to pull her hat up there and just glue that back in place. And then I will be back when to do the brim of the hat, and I've decided on what I'm going to do with their hands. Also, I had these signs. I got these last year at the dollar store. I haven't seen them yet this year, but I haven't really been looking. So it's the metal piece, decor piece, and you get peace, joy, and believe. So I'm going to have each one of them holding one of these. I'm not going to do believe. I'm going to do peace and joy. So I think I'll have her holding joy and him holding peace. They're silver, so I'm going to spray paint them. I'm not sure what color. I think I might just go with, might just do it red, just to finish up with them being all in red. I haven't quite decided on the color for this yet, but I'll be back when I'm ready to do the brim of their hat and their hands. Okay, I decided to do something totally different with her hat. I left this flower on and in place because it looked good there, but I took the wire cutters and I cut the top part because it had this extra big hat. So I took the top part off and I took the two side pieces off. I don't know where the other piece went. It went flying when I cut it. So I cut a good chunk of the hat off so you can see how much I've cut down. If I do this, you can see I've really cut her hat down. So I'm just going to make her hat a lot smaller than his. It was actually one of the things I was thinking of doing, but then I got distracted and I was thinking of other things to do, so I didn't do it, but now I have. So now I'm just going to re-glue her hat together. So I guess this is all going to be too big. These pieces are going to be just a little bit too big, so I'm just going to cut off this spot here with lots of glue. I'm just going to okay, I was just about to sneeze, sorry. So I'm just gonna cut this down to size now. Don't need all that. Still need it there to there. I don't need, okay, just trying to. Trying to cut this down a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to cut this a little smaller. There, that should be good. Just lay this down. Yeah, that's good. That will cover all that. Give me a good base for the burlap. I'm just going to grab my glue gun here. Glue this felt down in place in a couple spots. And then I'm just going to grab the burlap. I'm just going to put the glue on here. Place it on. And I'm going to be cutting off the extra burlap now. So I won't be needing that big of a piece. Just go like that. Now the burlap is glued in place, and I'm just going to flip it over. I'm just going to cut the extra piece off, and I'm just not worried about, because I still have to do the brim of her hat, and I couldn't really get any closer to some of these pieces. I was worried if I was going to cut the other part of the frame off. So there. Just going to flip it around. You can see how much more shorter I had made her hat. I'm just going to cut this extra burlap off. Like that. I'm not worried about this extra stuff here because I still have to make the brim of the hat. Oops. I'm just getting everything tangled. I'm just going to fix that because that still is her hat. It still looks good. Her scarf part still looks good. And then I'm just going to move this over a little bit like that. So I can see how on the camera it's looking, and I'm just looking at the back, and I know where I had it glued, and then I was moving her around and it got kind of messed up. Just pull some of this stuff around down behind here and just fluffing it up. There. That's looking a lot better now because now it's all fluffed up and her hat's all fluffed up. So now our hat's looking good. So now I will be back when I'm ready to do the hat and the gloves. All right, so for their hands, where did I put it? I got some sticks from outside. I just had them. Just set them down. I'm not sure where I think that's what just fell off. Yes, it is. That's what I just knocked off. So I just got some sticks. So I'm just gonna cut sticks for their hands. I'm going to take these wire ones out because he's already got the one that's come out. So I'm going to save these little hands for another craft. But I got some sticks. And then for the brim of their hat, what I found when I was out there looking for the sticks is I had some of these broken lawn ornaments. Like this is supposed to be that little windmill. The pieces are all gone. There's two of them. So I cut some of the middle part down. So I got this length and I cut hers to there, so you can see how much shorter I really made her hat. Let's see, my measuring tape. So I cut his down, it's about 9 inches, and hers is just a little over 5, maybe it is 5. No, 5 1/4 inch, just so you can see. So I'll be doing something with these because I just don't want them like this. I do want to cover them with something that looks like Christmassy, extra special for their hats. And also for in their hats, I've got these. I bought these last year. Got these 2 picks. These last year at Dollarama. You get 36 berries for $1 each. And I got this one here, also from Dollarama last year. It was $2, and you get 24. So I'll be putting these in their hats as well. I got some little mini acorns that I was going to use as well. Maybe I haven't quite fully decided on that. So first things first is I'm going to remove their arms. Very easy, just one bend down, one bend up, and his arm is gone. That's why it came off so easy on me this morning. I was doing that. So this one's a little harder, but again, just bending back and forth. That arm is gone. Bend this back and forth, and that arm is now gone. So now I'm just going to take the sticks, I'm just going to cut them, and I'm going to place the berries, and I'm going to cover these, and then I will be back to assemble the last final steps. Okay, now for the brim of the hat, I decided I'm going to do it simple. I'm just going to cover them in red felt. So I'm just going to put a strip of glue down. Place this metal rod on top. Just going to do the same to this one. I'm just going to do these at the same time so I can get this project done. Like that. So I got hers wrapped. So now I'm just going to wrap his. I'm just going to put a strip of glue and just roll it over. And it rolled the wrong way from where the glue was. I don't need to totally cover it because I just need to cover the one side. Anywhere where it's not fully stuck, I'm just going to add some more glue. I'm just going to keep kind of wrapping this around. So I did quickly measure, so this should be the right amount to get this to come all the way around. As long as it's covered on the one side. And I've got a flat edge to be able to glue this down on, and it should be fine. Just gonna glue this together. I'm just putting this side together. This one is done. So I'm just going to grab the snowman here, and I've got their hands ready to. My glue gun just wants to slide off the stand and off the table. Okay. So I'm going to do her first. I'm just going to lay it down. I'm just going to start with the brim of the hat. I'm just going to make sure I get this lined up right. So this extra bit that hangs over, I don't need it, so I'm just going to snip it off. I just wanted a little bit extra just in case I didn't have enough of the wire. So I just made the tubing with the felt just a little bit longer. Just gotta turn her around so I can see where I'm trying to glue. Just gonna put a strip of glue right along the bottom of her hat, right where the, just don't want the tool to get glued in there. Just about got the tool glued in there. I didn't want that. hold that for a second. Just going to move the flower back up. Okay. And while I've got her here, I'm just going to move her other way so I can get her hands glued in. So I cut 4 little branches here. Let's see, that was a little too long. I think right here. I'm just going to put some glue. I'm just going to move this, just put some glue in there. Stick the branch in and then pull the wool, or the wool yarn back over top. Do the same over on the other side here. Just move this out of the way, put a big blob of glue, and grab her other hand here and stick it in place. Now she's got her hat and arms done. Just going to set her on the floor. I'm going to fix him, but before I do that, I have to fix his scarf here because it didn't stay glued. There's one spot right here that I've got to glue down. So fix it so it looks a little bit neater here at the back. And there. And right here, need a little bit of glue here too. Just a few spots where I saw that the glue didn't take. Just need a little more glue. Let's see, I may have to trim his hat a little. No, I think his hat was okay. Thought I had to trim it, but looking at it, it looks okay. A little chunk of this felt there. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this on. So his I made quite long. It's going to go right there. Just need another glue stick. This is a tip. I don't know if anybody was watching, but to hold the glue sticks in, I found this neat trick quite a few years ago. So you just put a little dot of the hot glue on the glue stick, and then when you push it in, it makes the 2 glue sticks glue together, so they don't fall out. They still fall out. I still find that even if I do that, sometimes they don't work. I also find if I put too much glue, then I get glue caught in here, so you got to be careful with that. But I found it a really helpful tip. I found it really handy. And I try to mention that when I'm using my glue gun, and sometimes I forget to mention that tip. But I forget what the YouTuber I'd seen who said that. If I remember her name, I will mention it. I honestly, I can't remember her name, and I was trying to find her, and searches have come from what I thought her name would be. Searches have come up empty, so either I'm getting her name wrong, or maybe so many other people have showed that technique. I don't know, but really want, if I got it off of a YouTuber, I really want to, say who I got the tip from, but I honestly don't remember. So it was about 3 or 4 years ago, so can't quite remember. And I said I was trying to find it, and I went through my YouTube history and was looking up other ones, and I never came across it, so I don't know. Okay, again, same thing. This is just a little bit too long. I'm just cutting off those extra bits of felt. I'm just going to throw that in the garbage. And now I'm going to put glue on his hands. And for his scarf, I still haven't decided if I want to do fringe or dovetail. So I'm just going to leave his scarf as is at the moment while I decide. So I just don't know why I can't figure out which way I wanted to do it. Okay, I guess his hand wants to turn inward. Okay, well, that's fine. Snowmen have stick hands. Sticks go in every direction, so this makes it look like a really authentic snowman with different sizes of sticks. And his fingers go in every direction, like real snowmen do. Oops. Got myself caught in my glue gun cord. Okay, now he's got his on. I'm just going to look for these signs that I said I was going to use. I said I wanted him to hold peace. You know, I think I will paint them red. Red's not my color this year, but these are snowmen and I've got so many different places, so they'll probably go with my other tree. So I'm just gonna spray paint these red, and I guess I will show you what they look like as soon as they have been painted red. And in the meantime, I guess I will be working on my floral arrangement for my, I guess it would be for my, I'm trying to think where I'm putting my floral arrangement, because I had to make 3. So I did the Santa boot. I'm going to do this one. So this one is going to be going on my kitchen table. So I'll be back when I'm starting that. Okay, this video is taking a lot longer than expected. It's just crafting takes longer than you think sometimes. But I've got, for my floral arrangement, I've got 3 bouquets of these poinsettias in this really pretty cornstalk blue with the gold tips, and I also have one of the white with the gold tips. So I'm gonna just pause and I'm gonna clip all the florals off of their stems so I can put each one in separately. And then what I also have is I've got the planter that was white. I spray painted it. So I wanted to create my arrangement to look like the flowers were coming out of snow. So I've got this big piece here, and it's just a chunk of that tree skirt or the faux snow that I usually use like on my fireplace or whatever. And I've got 2 bricks of the floral foam. Now this one, I've never actually used it for wet florals, but these were $1.25 at Dollarama. I got them in a big bag right here. I paid $2.99 at Value Village, and I think I got about 5 or 6 of them. So I have never used the wet floral foam, but you know, you can't go wrong with that price. So I've got 2 of them in here. That's how big this planter is. And then I took the faux snow sheet here and I folded it in half, and I kind of found where the middle would be, and I cut a slit in the middle so I can just line this slit up between the 2 floral foams here. And I'm just tucking the snow into the, I'm just tucking this in around the floral foam just to kind of hide it. I just wanted to make this nice arrangement looking like the flowers were growing out of the snow. Just an interesting, I just wanted something different. Something different I've not seen too many people do, just something unique. So it's a very unique, what is this, a vase container? I don't know, whatever you call it. I don't know if it's actually considered a vase, but a plant container. It's really pretty shape, and it's got these nice ridges. And then when I spray painted it upside down, it gave a really cool effect, the way that so I was spray painting it upside down, so it all dripped down the ridges. So I get this really interesting ombre where it's a little more white on some of these, which is I kind of like. So I've got this done, so I'm just going to stop and cut the flowers off their stem, and then I'll be back to start putting them in display. Actually, I thought I'd show you how I cut my florals off the stem. I can actually do one bunch. It takes like 30 seconds or not even. I have little mini wire cutters. I just saw them a minute ago here on my table. Oops, that just came unplugged. I bump that. That might be better. I just bumped my microphone. It came unattached. So I'm hoping that will be better for the sound. I said I just had my other wire cutters. Just saw them a second ago. So I was just going to use them. But oh, here they are. I dropped them on the floor. Okay. So I got these little baby ones I bought from the dollar store. They do pretty good. And then I had a better pair I got from Walmart, I think it was. I paid, you know, like $5, $6 for a pretty good solid pair. And then my husband asked me if I needed wire cutters. And I said, sure. And this is what he gave me. It's, you know, I mean, it's, there's my fingers, there's my elbows. So like it's quite a heavy duty one. And I do find I have trouble using it because it's really strong. So what I do is I take the flowers and I push all the leaves and the flowers high up. I don't need to push them all the way up, but I just want them up there so I've got enough of this stem of where I'm going to cut. So I'm going to cut somewhere between here and up here. Now I want to keep the stem as long as possible, so I want to cut as close to where they are all attached. So I want to give myself a good amount of space. And then I don't know if I can actually show this on camera, but I will try. Maybe if I move back. So I just put the bouquet down between my knees and I grab the wire cutters, and here I can just put them all in. And oops, got it up too high. Just get them all in, and it's just one snip like that. And there we go. Got them all are now separate little flowers. And because the way that it clips, you'll get different heights anyway. So I find that way I'm not cutting each one different heights. This gives me actually enough of these with different heights. So I'm just going to continue and do the other couple, and then we'll be back to make the final floral arrangement. Okay, I'm just going to tip this sideways so you can see, like with the slit. Okay, I don't know how to explain this, but with this slit, then as I poke them, see me if I raise the camera. Oops, okay, maybe like that. I don't know if that's any better. I can't quite tell. But with this slit here, as I put the flowers in, I can kind of move this around and I can get this to come between the stems. So I'm just going to figure out which side I want that. This will be the back at me. The front's going to be up there. Okay. I'm just going to tuck this a little bit better. I just want to make it look like a real blanket of snow here. And then I don't know how many white I have. I don't know how many blue ones I have. I'm going to set the white ones here. And I'm just going to start by putting them in. Let's see, I think that's going to work for height. Oh, I'm just going to have to angle the camera just a second. Okay, I hope that's better. I'm standing and I've got the camera up a little higher. So I'm just going to start by placing these blue ones. I've had these florals for probably close to 10 years. I don't know where I got them or how much I paid. I know they were from a thrift store, so I don't know how much I would have paid for them, but it would not be a lot. Oh, I can poke them through. Okay, I put this slit because I wasn't sure if I could poke them through, but I can. So that's going to change where this one is now, because I didn't need to do that slit. See, I wasn't sure how strong these stems were going to be, if I'd be able to poke them through this snow stuff. So this is all I'm going to do. So I'm just going to be placing these randomly. I don't even know how many flowers there are. I didn't even count. I just know I've got 4 bunches of them. Just kind of want randomly, just different heights. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to be sticking these different places, different heights. I guess I want a little bit shorter at the front and a little taller back here. But I will play around with the heights as I get as I figure out exactly where I want them to be. Sometimes it's hard to get the height straight when you're first putting them in, so I just like to put them kind of where I want them to go, and then I'm saving the white ones for last. So if you're doing floral arrangements and you've got mostly one color and the least of another color, I always like to put the color I have the least amount of them in last. I just find it easier for me. You can do however it's easiest for you, but I find putting the, like I said, these are blue, and then I've got the few white ones. If I put the white ones last, then I can spread the white ones throughout a little more evenly. And I can use the white ones to fill up any of the bigger gaps that more at the front. So it's same with, like, you know, just the height wise too. I'm not quite worried about right now. Everything seems to be the same height all around. I've got a few here at the back that are a little too low, and I got a few at the front that are a little too high. But right now I'm just trying to get the placement of them. I'm just going to keep putting these in. Until I run out. And then I do want to put some ribbon in with these ones. And I found the perfect ribbon when I was looking for the ribbon for the snowman. I found this one I didn't even know I had. I've got a lot of ribbon I didn't know I had. Because this is going to go on the center of the table where people sit on both sides, but most people sit on just the one side of the table. But people can sit on the back of it, so I do want to have it looking nice from both sides. So I am putting some a little bit lower here at the back as well, so it's kind of more evenly rounded out. So until we get this one through. Okay, there. I found the stem that this one had come off of. So I had a flower that was just loose on the floor, and I've got another stem. That means I've got another flower just loose on the floor somewhere. Happened when I was cutting them off their stems. They kind of went flying. There. I've got all the blue ones. Now I want to do the white ones. I do want white ones up here right in the center. Oops, I got a couple of these white ones have got some stains on. I didn't even notice that. I think that's candle wax that's stained on them. So let's see if I put that one. Oops, I found another blue one. There. I want to get this white one in here. And another white one over here. And put a white one up front here. And put another white one back here. I'm just trying to even the whites out, so I get like a white one in each of the corners. And I need a white one over in this corner. There. I've got all the florals are used up. I'm going to move this one to the back. I'm going to switch these ones around. It's got a couple of these white ones that I noticed had some pink or red stain, and I believe that's just candle wax. There. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm just going to take a look and see how it looks from all angles. I'm just going to turn it around. I'm starting to really like the way, yep, oops, that's got to be moved over. This one's got to get moved over this way. And I got to move this one over a little more this way. There, now you can see them, all the flowers better. There. Yeah, I like how that is looking. Move that one up, move this one down a little. There we go. Pull this full snow up just a little bit. Just pull it up so it's not so tucked in now. I've got the flowers in place. The flowers are actually holding this in place more. I'm just going to fill this up to make it look like the snow. This container is full of lots of fluffy snow. There. Pull this from inside as well. Just pulling this skirt or fabric, whatever you want to call it, faux snow. Just pulling it up around the stems, so it actually looks like the flowers are actually coming out of the snow. Just fill this container. It looks like the container is now full of flowers coming out of snow. I'm gonna add some bow. I'm gonna add a bow around, just all around this up here. Just saw the bow. It was just there. I just saw it. All my ribbon is dumped out, all my craft supplies, everything is everywhere. I'm working on so many different crafts at the moment. I've got so many videos I've started, just waiting for, you know, like paint to dry or things to dry. So just gonna see. Is this the? Yeah, this is the one. Now this is gonna be tricky because this shape of this container is really different. So it's not straight, so I can't just drape it around straight, because if I try to, it's going to go straight to the bottom. So that means I'm going to have to, so this will not work. If I, let me see, if I have a ribbon with, oops, no, it wasn't, I have a wired ribbon. I'll have to find a wired ribbon. That's what I'll need. So I'll be back when I find the ribbon. Okay, even the wired ribbon just wants to slide right down, so I'm going to have to just, oops, I missed one of the white flowers. So I'm just going to have to just put that on hold at the moment for adding the ribbon. But what I did want to add was, I said I had these birds, a pair of these blue ones, these dark blue ones, and a pair of the light blue ones. And I also have two of these, like a rose gold color. So I'm going to use these 6 birds. Just going to start with these ones. Now they all seem to have the little clips on them, so it makes it really easy to incorporate. So I'm just going to find a little edge here. I'm just going to clip it onto the little tree skirt. There's one there. I'm going to put which one I had the front and which one I had the back. Let's see. Just want to make sure I got it right. Yeah, this is the back. Just want to make sure I had turned it around to the right way. So I'm just going to put this little pink bird over on this side to match that one. And then I got this. Be careful taking these out because I was using these a couple years ago and I went to pull them out of the packaging, and I actually, not only did I pull the clip out of the bird, but I actually pulled some of the bird feathers off, and so just be extra careful when pulling them out of the packaging. So I say these blue birds came in the packs of 2, and I got them at Dollarama for $2 a pack. Then the other ones were, I think they came from Dollarama last year, so they were $1.25 each. So it depends where you go. You can probably find them cheaper if you look around. Okay, I just want all these birds to just come around this. Just like the idea of having birds right on the corners here. That one, and I'm going to put this one here. And like these other 2 blue ones, I'd like to put them up in here. So I'm going to clip them to the flowers if possible, if it looks good. Let's put the tail feathers down, up. Because he wants to there. That one there. Clip this one over here. Okay, I think I like that idea. Actually clipping them to the flowers too. So they look like they're sitting in the flowers. So I'm going to do that to these, the blue ones. I'm going to put the blue ones up in the flowers and leave the pink ones down in the ground. There, and so the pink ones are just, they don't quite go with the color scheme, but they're nice, just little birds just to give another little color. There, we've got the birds sitting in there, 2 down there, and then the other 4 all up here. And then I'm just gonna move this to my kitchen table so you can see what it's gonna look like. Still really wish I could put a bow on here. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I just don't have quite the right ribbon stuff to, because of the way this is all shaped, but I like the way it looks, so I'm just gonna go and put it on my kitchen table, and when I get this arranged, then I will show that to you, and I will also be back because I gotta finish the snowmen. Alright, so there's the letters. I just did one light, or one pretty good coat. I only painted the one side. I like how they really look. Got some little stray hairs there, probably pet hair. Okay, so I'm going to put the peace on the boy and the joy on the girl. So I'm going to get this stuff out of my way. I'm going to grab him. I'm going to do this one first. So I wanted to glue it down right here. Felt and tool stuck to my hot glue gun. I'm just gonna put some glue right along here. That should be enough. dry. And while I do that, I'm going to flip him around so I can get to his hat, because I've got to glue the little berries in his hat. I've got to find them. These little berries here. I got some little greens too. Got this little pick sitting down here on the floor. I just want the leaves from it. I don't want the berries from that one. They're just very plasticky looking. I just want I like how that looks. It's just a little silk, 3 little leaves. I'm just going to take this bundle of berries and stick it through the hole that's already there. And I get that. That looks so much better. Now I just have to play around to figure out the placement of these. I want the berries to be spread out and flat. So I'm just going to flatten these out. Okay. Like that. I just want them to be able to lay flat. I'm going to take this, I'm just going to put this back there. Kind of like the idea of having 2 berries over top of each leaf, like that. So I'm going to put a, oops, just going to get this to turn. Put this. Okay. Just did something here. Okay, just got to move those that way. There. I'm just going to put a glue on the back of the and glue up the stem part. I'm just going to glue that down right there. Just glue this leaf down as well. And glue this leaf down a little too. Push the berries out. Just going to twist these so the stem on them is just a little shorter. Just a little bit closer together. Like that. And I think I might put one of these in the center. I'm just going to see. Yeah, that may look good. I'm going to take this. I don't know where I put my wire cutter again. Got my scissors. Yep, I think I'm going to like the way that's going to look. Put some glue there. And just stick it down inside. Just kind of get that leaf to kind of go around and under the other berries. Just kind of hide some of the extra wire and some of the extra glue. And there's his hat. And there's the word peace. And I'm just going to sit him down. I'm going to grab her. And so I'm just going to glue the word joy on her. So just got to find it. Got to line this up. Glue sticks. Oh, there's the glue sticks. See, I move things around and then I can't even find what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to move her around so I can do her hat. Now her hat I just want to do very simple. I think I'm just going to do just these little berries. She doesn't need much. She's got this big puffy ribbon. So I think I'm just going to give her 2 of these little berries. Just have to move it this way so I can just see where I want to put them. So I just want to do 1 berry in the center of this. Yeah, I think, let me just see with these berries. Kind of big. Actually, I've got these other berries that I threw down here. And they're a little smaller. That might work a bit better. Let's see. Yeah, these ones might work better, but I definitely need my wire cutters for this one. So just bend it. Try these scissors. I don't want to break these scissors. But, okay. I'm just going to take these off of this paper thing that they're on. I really wish I had my wire cutter. I've got to clean my craft room. I got to get it back organized again. So every time I organize it, then I'm looking for crafts and things, and oh, there's my, and then I can't find anything. So I had this room all organized like a month ago, and then Christmas crafting, and so now everything is just everywhere again. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I like the idea of these tiny little ones in there, but I think I want a little green leaf too. I'll just take a little green leaf off that berry, but now I've got a little bit of that berry stuff caught on there, just so these berries have something to contrast or go between. Yeah, I'll do 2 of these through here. Okay, a little glue on here. I'm just gonna push the berries through that little hole there, and the other one through. That, and then a little glue on the back here, and just stick it in the center. There, like her hat, very just basic and simple. And then for her scarf, she still needs the tail parts of her scarf. So I'm gonna move these berry picks out of the way so I don't have an empty vase in here. I think I'll just throw them in the vase. I said she needs the tail for her scarf. So I'm just going to grab some tulle. I don't have a lot left on this roll. I might as well just use the rest of that roll. Just gonna fold it in half so I kind of get two tail pieces. Let's see, how long do I want the tail piece to be? Because I've got to finish her scarf because she's got, oh, I don't know if I can angle this. Can't move it. It's on a stand and it won't move. It's stuck on something. Because I want to get her scarf so she's got the tail pieces, but I want to finish the scarf so it comes around the rest of the neck. So you can tell she's wearing a scarf, not just a little flower. So I'm just trying to figure out how long I want the tail pieces, and then I can do the rest of it. I do want one longer than the other. That. There, and then I gotta tuck it around like that. I want it there, so from there I pull this up. It's easy sometimes to work from the reverse end, and then some of this I can just bunch under there and have this here like that. And I'm just going to glue this into place. I'm just going to put some glue right along here. I'm just going to pull the first bit of tulle down for the back part of the scarf. I'm just going to punch it up, and I'm going to put some glue on top of there. The second part of the scarf, and just kind of bunch it up. But I want it to be able to see, noticeably tell that there's two tails there. And then I just got to move this way. And this, I'm just going to put glue. Sorry, probably hard to see because I don't know how I'm supposed to angle my camera. I'm just going to put glue right around the neck part here. And I'm just going to pull this, all this extra tulle, I'm just going to bunch it and put it up under there. And then I'm just going to fluff this thing back, this big bunch back down. Just going to bunch this so it looks like she's got this. Looks like she's got a scarf and it's attached, goes right around her neck. So I'm just trying to, my fingers are sticky and covered in glue, so I'm just trying to attach it. Put a little glue under here. A little glue there to hold that together. Okay, I think I'm done my wreaths now, although I'm just going to trim this one just a little because it's all frayed here. This was that last end of the tulle that was kind of stapled to the roll. Oh, excuse me. rid of that so you don't see that. So I'm just going to fix her, fluff her bow up a little bit, and I'm going to hang these two up side by side so you can see them, and I will show you the centerpiece on my table as soon as I get that moved in place. So when I show you, I'll be right back when I show you all those. Okay, so here's the two snowmen, the Mr. and Mrs. Snowman, hanging up. It's the only place I could find to hang them up side by side. So you can see I still haven't decided how I want to do his scarf, so I'm just going to leave it plain for right now. I might just later cut it on an angle. I still haven't decided. I don't know if the fringe will work with that material, and I don't know if I really want to do dovetail. So I'm just going to leave it as is at the moment. So there he is. And then here is her. I really like the way I made her scarf. I kind of fluffed it up a little more in here and a little more in here. And then just in a second, I'll show you the floral arrangement. And so there's the floral arrangement. Like I said, I kind of like the way that this container, it's got these ridges on here. So when I sprayed it upside down, the way that the paint, took to it, I get this really cool, like an ombre type effect. So then you can see in here I've got like the two little pink birds, and then up at the top I've got the 4 blue birds. There we go. So that was the floral arrangement and the 2 wreath snowmen. Okay, hope everybody really enjoyed this tutorial on how I made my snowman wreaths and my floral arrangement for my kitchen table for this Christmas season. Again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's watching my videos and subscribing to my channel, and I can't believe that I'm over 600 people. I said like it was, is it 601? Now I know I'm well over like 650, I believe it was the last time I checked. Just can't believe I've got that many subscribers. A year ago, I was happy with like 5 or 6 people. I didn't think I was gonna get that many people in this short of time. Just thank you to everybody who's subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.